Tyrese, you ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Let's take our first question then from Eric Walden.
Hey, Tyrese, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Just wondering if you could start off by telling us which teams you have worked out in person for.
I haven't worked out for many teams. I only worked out for one team as of right now. But right now, I've just been working on my game, working on with Chris Johnson at 6 a.m. and working on the weights at 8 and going back at 10. So right now, I'm not really focused on any of that. Just trying to get better.
And have you had any contact with the Utah Jazz via Zoom?
Yes, sir. I have had a Zoom meeting with Utah.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Spencer Davies.
Hey, Tyrese, I'm just wondering, what did that stage and audience for your pro day do for you, confidence-wise, and how do you feel you performed on that stage?
I think the pro day stage was that Clutch put on was amazing. Have guys like Anthony Davis, LeBron, Gary Trent, Trey Young, different guys just there cheering you on and appreciating the work that you've been putting in. It feels great. But my confidence wise, I put in so much work. When people aren't looking and when people are in the stands, my confidence is so high. I believe in myself. So it's just a confidence booster because my confidence is already level 10 maximized. So it was a really good event.
Okay, next up, Matt George.
Appreciate you doing this, Tyrese. Have you had any contact with the Sacramento Kings in terms of either a workout or a Zoom call? And then how do you see yourself fitting in playing alongside a guard like De'Aaron Fox?
Yes, sir, I have. And, it'll be cool, play with a guy like De'Aaron. I'll just try to go out there and win compete extremely hard, practice in the games. And play off another guard like De'Aaron. They have other guys like Corey Joseph and Bogdanovich and Bagley and Harry Giles and a very good young team. And I feel like they're headed in the right direction.
All right, next question from Callie Kaplan.
Hey, Terry, sorry for the delay there. To go off that question too, curious if you've talked with the Mavericks and what you think about fitting in the hometown team.
Yes, I've had a Zoom with the Mavericks, and it'll be cool, play in the city that I grew up in, and that's about it. It's just, it's great city, great organization from top to bottom, and they have a very interesting team and a team that's headed in the right direction as well.
Thank you.
All right, next question from Christian Clark.
Hey, Tyrese. Christian Clark here in New Orleans. I feel like I have a pretty good handle on the things you're already good at, but just what are some of the emphasis areas for you, things you want to improve to get ready to contribute at the NBA level?
Nice to meet you. And first and foremost, I would say is, I feel like I'm a way better shooter than what my numbers show. Shot 29% from 3 at college. But, like I said, I feel like I'm a way better shooter than what the numbers say. But I've really been working extremely hard to be consistent. And I think I shot like a flat ball in college. So I've been working with trainer Chris Johnson every single day since May on getting my arc up, getting my elbow above my eye, and shooting reps on reps on reps on reps. I started at 6 a.m., wake up at 4:50, get in the gym at 6, making at least 700 to 800 shots then, go lift in between. Going back to the gym at 10 again and doing the same thing over and again and getting those reps and making those shots and getting those 800 makes in. And, I was playing at 12. So all of that's just helping me get those repetitions up. And see, you have to be able to shoot the ball at the next level. At a guard my height and, guards in the NBA period, it's hard to play, get on the floor and play in the NBA game without being able to knock down wide open threes. And that's one thing that I really want to show that I'm able to do. Another thing is coming off ball screens, just because it's a big part of today's game. I feel like a lot of dynamic guards are able to come off ball screens and make plays for themselves and make plays for others. And I feel like I can do that as well. But I've really been working on it just to show that I can make different reads, like I said, for myself and for others.
All right, next question from Josh Coyne.
Hi, thank you very much for your time. Your dad is heavily involved in basketball at SMU. Can you talk us through the role he's played in preparing you for this process?
My father's played a significant role, probably the highest of everybody in my life, just because, he was a Division I basketball player at Washington State University, played under a terrific coach in Coach Sampson, and he knows what it takes to get to the next level. He knew what it takes to become a Division I athlete. He knows what the coaches like. He knows what the coaches are going to demand and expect of you, and he demanded that of me at an early age. I tell people all the time, I was 8 years old, so I think that's second grade, watching film, like imagine your father making you watch film over, past games at 8 years old. And I think he just set that pedigree and set that bar for me, at a young age. And now I just carried on to the player and the IQ that I have today.
Thank you.
All right, next question from Ian Begley.
Hey, Tyrese, thanks for doing this. And I'm sorry if you answered this already. Have you worked out in person with the Knicks or the Nets? And also, could you list the teams that you have worked out with in person for?
I'm sorry. It was hard for me to hear you. It was like it was a little bit noise. Like, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you that well.
Sorry about that. Have you worked out, Tyrese, for the Knicks or the Nets in person? And could you list the teams that you have worked out for in person?
No, I have not worked out for the Knicks or the Nets. I've only had one workout so far, and it went pretty well. But yeah, I mean, right now I'm just focusing on getting better extremely every single day, and the time will come when all that is said and done.
I'm sorry, who is that team with, the workout that you had?
The Pelicans.
Thank you.
All right, next question from Jeff Garcia.
Hey, Tyrese, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to meet you. Did you have any contact with the Spurs?
I did. Yes, sir.
And how did that go?
It went well. It went well talking to those guys. I mean, the Spurs is a great organization. I feel like they're going to get right back on the same track that they've been on for the past decade,
Yeah.
and even in the 2000s. But yeah, it went pretty well, and that'll be a great organization.
And what would it be like to play with Keldon Johnson?
It'll be great to play with a former Kentucky alum. Keldon plays the game extremely hard, and he plays to win. And those are the type of guys that any organization is glad to have.
Thanks, Tyrese.
Thank you.
All right, next question from David Esser.
Hi, Tyrese. David Ezra here with Philly Sports Network. I know you mentioned you'd only worked out with New Orleans thus far, but have you had any sort of Zoom contact with the Philadelphia 76ers? And if you have, how has that gone?
No, sir, I have not.
Okay, thank you so much.
And next question from Mark Berman.
Hey, Tyrese. I cover the Knicks. Kenny Payne is the new assistant coach. Just what was your reaction when you found out, and what do you think he could do in the NBA as an assistant?
I was ecstatic when I found out that Coach Kenny Payne was, going to make that jump and going to the next level, because he deserves it. And he created a connection with I think all of the guys that have came through Kentucky by the time that he's been there, and he's been very solid. He tells everybody the truth. He doesn't sugarcoat anything, and he's always going to help you work extremely hard and reach with the goals that you set for yourself. And he's going to push you. He's going to make sure that you get the best out of yourself, and you won't be able to sell yourself short. So I was very proud of him, and I was really glad to hear that.
Also, just your pro day workout. I mean, do you feel you showed a lot of stuff on ESPN that night?
I did. I feel like I was able to show how consistent my shooting is. Like I said, I feel like I shoot the ball way better than what my numbers show from last year, and I feel like I was able to show that. I was also able to show my conditioning and what type of shape I was in. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life right now. And I think another thing I was able to show is just my explosiveness. I feel like my vertical has increased about 3 or 4 inches, and I feel like I'm at the the best shape of my life, like I said.
Thank you.
Next
Thank you.
question from Chris Grenham.
Hey Tyrese, have you had any contact with the Boston Celtics, and if so, how did that go?
No, sir, I have not.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll take next question from Christos Saltas.
Hello, Tyrese. First of all, how big influence was from Coach Cal to you and to your game? And also the path of Bama Adebayo and Tyler Hero is a kind of example for you about the NBA.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. It was breaking up. Could you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How big influence was about from Coach Cal to you and to your game? And about Tyler Hero and Bama Adebayo is a kind of examples for you.
You said how big of an influence was who?
From Coach Cal.
Oh, Coach Cal. Oh. Coach Cal was the best, man. He told me the first day that I walked into, I stepped on campus. He told me he was going to push me extremely hard and push me the hardest that he was ever going to push anybody on this team. And he said he saw a lot of potential in me. He saw what I could be in the future and what I could bring to the table. And he wasn't going to let me sell myself short. And I feel like he does that. He does that and gets the best out of all his players. And I think he's going to do that with me. He did that with me as well. And I really appreciate him for that.
Thank you.
And then we'll take our last question from Sean Barnard.
Yeah, hi Tyrese. Thanks for doing this. You showed your ability to guard taller defenders in college. Why do you seem so comfortable with this?
I think just because, one, I had to guard him because we had a 3-guard lineup. And I think I was probably the tallest and the strongest out of that lineup. So, I had to show my versatility and be able to guard whoever it was on the court. If it was, if I had my matchup was the smallest person in the guard and the point guard, or the guard and the most dynamic scorer, had to do that. Some games I had to guard, like you said, guys like Robert Woodard from Mississippi State, who's a strong, I think a 3-2-3, 3-4 maybe swing in the league. And I had to do that. And I feel like I was able to do it because, my strength and my competitive nature. And I don't feel like I feel like I'm maybe going to be able to guard 1 through 3 in the league just because of my competitive spirit and, my fight. And just being a cerebral defender, I feel like defense is 90% mental, because if you watch the film and starting to learn other people's tendencies, then you can learn how to take that away from them and, force them to take the shots that you want them to take that are lower percentage for them. And that's what all I did in college and what I've done in the past and what I'll continue to do at the next level.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.